Here's my question as I look at this. It seems that this current mess Facebook is in, as much as there's been some finger pointing around was it Elliot Trigg, should Sheryl have paid more attention? Mark Zuckerberg doesn't like focusing on this sort of stuff. Getting in front of the media, making the case for Facebook's public face. It always seems like he's kind of dragged into it. It's on him, isn't it? If he had been asking questions about who was defending Facebook and how, everybody would have known what Definers was doing. But it seems like nobody was really asking that because they were so focused on product.
Yeah, look, it's a fair point. I think there's questions over board governance and there's questions over management. But I also think we should take a step back a minute, which is no one's ever had to deal with this before. These are very complicated issues. The fact that a CEO of a company would imagine that a foreign government is going to try to abuse a platform they created to try to influence a presidential election. It's not like anybody from the Obama administration called them up and said, look, be careful of this, or any of the candidates called up and said, be careful of this. So it's entirely possible they missed it because of just naivete, right? It's not like they would have gotten up in the morning and said, I wonder how a foreign government is going to use my platform to try to influence an election. The question is, what do they do after they knew? And I think what's clear is these are very complicated issues. I'm not sure they or anybody else knows exactly how to fix it. And my own feeling, because I'm supportive of them, is that they've lost the narrative, which is, I'm not sure their employees know what the objective is right now. I'm not sure the investors know what the objective is right now. The government knows what the objective is right now. Foreign governments know what the objective is right now. And so I think they're in that catch-22 of, until they're certain about what they're going to do, what are they supposed to go out and say? And that's a tough spot to be in.
I don't know if many people fault them for not seeing the Russian issue to begin with. To me, we're kind of beyond that. It's more the issue of how did they respond internally to people who said, boy, this could be a lot worse. It looks like it's a lot worse than even we realize now. How many red flags should we be throwing up? How much should we be telling the board? How much should we be broadly communicating? And there was maybe this sense that product is really important. Facebook is doing the right thing. We know that, so let's push that aside.
Yeah, look, I don't know that we really know what the dialogues with the board were. And I'm not sure the Russian issue is the only big issue. There's issues over what is free speech, what is hate speech, what is bullying. You know, there's the issues over Holocaust deniers versus people who want to deny the need for Black Lives Matter. These are issues no one's had to deal with. And so, yeah, they're responsible and they're going to have to do something about it. And I think they're trying to figure out what to do about it. So,
but more practically, we just had a money manager say the reason he's not more bullish is he can't get his arms around the expense structure.
Right.
How many do you need to make this problem manageable? He doesn't know. Does anybody? Do they know?
No. How could they know yet?
Because they've given some guidance on it.
Well, they've said they're going to add tens of thousands of people because the answer is they know they're going to have to add people. But do you know exactly how many people to add or how bad the problem is? They've got a lot of issues that they need to deal with. And so right now, Facebook can survive this. They can come through this. They've got to recapture what they're going to do. They're going to have to explain to their audience that these are what we're going to work on. We're not going to fix everything right away. It's impossible. And they're going to have to convince advertisers. The thing is, if they lose advertiser confidence, then the whole thing can go the other way. But as long as it's still the best performing ad platform and advertisers are still embracing it as a place where they can do business, they can get through this. And so as an investor, right now they're still in a position to fix these problems. It's not like all's lost.
Do you think there's going to have to be fundamental changes to the business model? Because I'm seeing more and more analyst notes, expert notes suggesting that there will be.
Yeah, look, I've always believed that the advertising market, I mean, from my experience at Yahoo, what became clear is that the internet is really difficult for smaller companies to make any money in advertising because you have to be at scale. Whereas traditional advertising was everybody runs an ad at one time to every eyeball and it's very profitable. One ad, one eyeball isn't. And the challenge for Facebook and other companies was they were putting more than one ad on a page to make up for the difference of that. So there aren't going to be more than 3 or 4 giant ad platforms to begin with. And so at some point that's going to run out anyway. So I do think they've been looking for things with local, with commerce, with payments. They just haven't hit on it yet. But I do think there are going to have to be changes and additions to the model for sure.